So I bought $400 collector boxes instead of groceries. Was it a smart investment? Well, let's find out before my bank account finds me. Now listen, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just some guy who spent way too much money on shiny cardboard and thought, you know what, this could totally pay off. Eventually, maybe, please? And yes, I know Pokémon is technically the best performing TCG investment, but if you enjoy getting ghosted by your pre-order guy and physically fighting a man named Kyle over a tin of Hidden Fates at Costco, be my guest. So what the hell is a collector box? Collector boxes are basically the champagne of TCG products, foiled, alternate arts, promos you'll never play with because you're too scared to touch them. Compared to regular draft or set boxes, collector boxes are shiny, fancy, and designed specifically to make you feel poor. You get fewer packs, but every pack has like 37 foils, 8 alternate arts, and the looming shadow of reprint. They're basically designed for whales, collectors, and that one guy who says MTG is my 401k unironically. You might wonder why people invest in TCGs and why they probably shouldn't. Let's be honest, most people invest in TCGs because they heard one guy bought Pokemon in 2018 and now owns a yacht made of Charizards. When they don't tell you is that for every cardboard millionaire there is 600 people sitting on cases of Crimson Well like it's going to turn into gold. The TCG market is hype-driven chaos, spoilers drop, prices spike, reprints happen, ban lists coming in, and suddenly your $80 mythic is worth less than the sleeve it's in. Also, TCGs aren't liquid assets. You don't just click sell. You've got to deal with buyers, conditions, shipping fees, and the existential dread of underpricing a foil. And then there's Pokemon. Oh, sweet Pokemon. Yeah, sealed Pokemon products has had some of the best returns in the past. ETBs, promo boxes, even tins. Some have doubled or tripled in a few years, but there's a big but. A really big but. Pre-orders get cancelled more often than Netflix shows. Even the MSRP prices often don't appear even on the shop side. Bots clean out online stores in seconds. Scalpers camp outside like it's a PS5 drop, new iPhone, or whatever. You will have no chance to get it for MSRP, and when you do get your product, half of it gets reprinted into oblivion. And that might be the sweet spot to get in, because after that little down, there's no down anymore. So if you want to go into Pokemon, I think the second reprint wave, if it's happening, might be the spot, but overpaying on release, it's just crazy, and the prices are just ridiculous, so I'm out of it. If you do like it, enjoy. Trying to invest in Pokemon is like trying to adopt a puppy during a dodgeball game, but the balls are on fire and half the players are bots. Technically profitable, but mentally exhausting. So why do I like collector boxes as an investment? Unlike Pokemon, you can actually buy them at MSRP without needing to punch a scalper in the throat. They usually have smaller print runs, there's stuff with the rarest cards, and they age surprisingly well if you leave them sealed. There's only one print run. When it's gone, it's gone. Some bad tongues might say that WotC is gonna reprint those, but that haven't happened in the past, and the print runs seem to be pretty tight in the last few sets or in the last year. Innistrad Remastered and Ether Drift might be not the best drops, but I think the rest relatively performed pretty well, and I'm gonna share the results of my collection, what I got, and we can compare if it's worth to get the collector box or not. For me, it's just kind of high risk, high reward, and I also love to open those. Yeah, most of the time they're fine to open. You get your value back, especially on release, but I think pricing on release is not really fair. But even if I open an old box, or when I opened old boxes, Call Time or March of the Machine, you're still relatively close to get back your 150 at average, I would say. You can get a bad box and land at 100 or maybe less, but I think that's really, really rare. And if you're a fan of cards, and you're planning on playing, Jesus, that was hard to say. Yeah, more power to you. But trust me, I learned the hard way. I once opened a $200 euro Pokemon box, and you know what I pulled? About 10 euro worth of cards, 10 euros. Did the math twice, thought I missed something. It was just emotional damage. So if you're really interested in keeping the value, it might be best to keep it sealed. I think especially for Pokemon, but I like to open collector boxes and will continue doing that. So yeah, just wanted to bring it out there. But the Pokemon box, dude, that was the moment I realized sealed product is like Schrodinger's investment. As long as you don't open it, it might be worth something. Once you crack it, boom, value gone, like my dignity that day. Collector boxes don't guarantee value either, but they at least give you a shot at serialized cards, textured foils, alt arts, drawn by haunted AI, and cards that feel too powerful to exist. Here's how I invest, aka how to hoard cardboard in a way that sounds smart. First, I only buy sealed collector product. Very rarely I will buy anything else than collector boxes from a set drop. I'm gonna buy stuff from Final Fantasy and Spider-Man actually, and it might be worth a lot of the rings back then, but it's too late now. I wouldn't recommend to buy other products if you are thinking value-wise. If you're just going for the game pieces and for the cards, of course you can go for that. Then it made sense to go for the play boosters, of course. I'm rather just going for the single cards if I need some for my decks, of course, or going just for proxies. Big thing for me because I think sometimes it's just not worth to go for every $20-50 card and just get the proxy. So my personal strategy on that is I'm going for 3 collector boxes, opening 1 and keeping 2 sealed. So you can flip another one on the way up and keep the other one for your collection or just for in 10-20 years. Just my personal strategy. If you can afford to buy more, you can go for more. If you can't afford so many, just go for less, or just don't do it at all and watch me open those collector boxes and waste my money on that. I would never open any other Pokemon product again. I'm gonna upload another one, an opening that was pretty bad, really terrible. So I would never suggest to do that again. Really no fun at all. Like I said, not even 10 euros, so just keep it sealed. If you ever have to ask the question, should I open it or should I keep it sealed? To find a good set to invest in is pretty hard. So that would be my third point. And second would be to never open Pokemon. And the third point would be to go for like crossovers because they performed really, really well. Maybe it's just in the last year, but Fallout and Lord of the Rings, and I think Final Fantasy Spider-Man will be huge. So these sets have a lot of hype, and that might be a good set to invest in if you thinking value-wise again. Not all people think like that, but if you're curious about collector boxes and which to buy, most of the time these perform pretty well. I'm not sure about Avatar. I haven't watched it, but I could imagine that there is a huge fan base and the artwork could fit the Magic style pretty well, like Bloomburrow-ish maybe, but more into a childish anime style. You know what I mean, but it could be successful. So let's wait for some spoilers on news. And fourth point would be to think of a time span you want to keep those products. You would assume that 2 to 5 years, maybe 10-20 years is better. You never know what time frame to look at, but you should be able to afford it and not commit to panic selling, because that's the timing that's gonna be pretty bad for your investment. You're buying at 200 and have to panic sell at 150, 160, and after 1 year it will be at 250. So it's like the same stuff like for stocks. Don't sell in the panic sell and try to avoid selling stuff of your stocks and just wait it out if you have the possibilities. So yeah, what can I say? If it's a crossover, it's even better. Lord of the Rings was very profitable. I've seen the set in the sale actually. People said set is trash, one ring is pulled, cards are bad, not that worth. And if you see cards from that set like Orcish Bowmaster or the One Ring or other stuff, cards really pretty expensive. Also the poster cards and so on. Banger product, didn't buy it in sale when it was in sale. Bad decisions. What can I say? Final Fantasy is looking really strong. Spider-Man already feels like stonks. Tokyo Dragonstorm, I opened that one. It was pretty big pulls and was really fun. Yeah, was thinking about opening a second one, but I'm not really sure because the sealed product is doing so well, and I think I just keep it because when I opened my second Foundations box, I pretty much regretted it. The value went up pretty significantly, and I just opened the second box and it was not that strong. It was around 150 if I remember right, 170. So yeah, having that box sealed would be at 400 now or 350. I'm not entirely sure 100%. But yeah, keep that sealed. If you're enjoying it and you're not looking only for money, just open and enjoy it. Because I feel pretty enlightened after a nice box opening. Yeah. So should you invest in TCGs? Honestly, if you're in it just for the money, you're better off flipping chairs on Facebook Marketplace. Or to be honest, just go long on the S&P 500, Euro stocks, emerging markets or whatever. Go for a dollar cost average on an ETF, and that's actually the best thing you can do. Pretty boring, but if you're doing it for 20 to 40 years, you are very good off. But if you love TCGs, can't resist the urge to open things, and enjoy telling yourself that cardboard equals stability, then collector boxes might actually work for you. They're collectible, flashy, relatively stable, and most importantly, they don't involve fighting a grown man named Brandon for a Pikachu tin at Target. Pokémon might be the best performing investment, but it's also the worst experience. Magic collector boxes, still risky, still overpriced, but at least they have structure, print waves, and product that isn't randomly nuked by reprints and bots. So yeah, collector boxes are great investments until you open them. Then if you're just another cardboard addict holding 10 euro in sadness and promo foil of shame. If you made it this far, comment "I fought a man over a Pikachu tin." Smash that like button like I smashed my wallet opening Pokemon product. Subscribe for more bad decisions and high definition. Peace.